About 5 years ago, as a family, we decided that we wanted a multi-generational home in the mountains. The Himalayas were beckoning us. Fortunately, it was pre-COVID when we decided to purchase this piece of land in the beautiful Kumaon region called Sitla. Sitla is about roughly a 6 hours drive from Delhi. It's at a height of 6,500 feet. So it proved and had its own challenges building in the mountains. Well, the first thing we really wanted was, the vision was to build a house for 100 years. So that required very strong bones. So when it came to the structure, when it came to looking at how this house would pan a multi-generational family, the needs of the family in growing. And fenestration, was a very key decision for us because there were challenges that we had studied in the market. We looked at aluminium, we looked at wood, and to be honest, I found this as the single biggest challenge because I was not getting the correct answer. With aluminium, I was struggling with the fact that it's a very cold element. It's too modern for my liking personally. And secondly, it was not giving me the necessary thermal insulation that I wanted in a home like this. A home like this can have temperatures of -5 to 6 degrees, and in the summer months can actually go up to 27, 28. So you want to retain heat, but you also want a great degree of cross ventilation. So the decision really came to wood. And in wood, we had seen several homes in the mountains, and we found that in times there was decay, there was even termite, and the biggest problem was that the systems were not robust enough to manage a long-term home in the mountains. So when I say systems, means the hardware, the woodware, I was not getting a great answer to that. And that is the time when I discovered Artius, and I had a great experience. I personally went about 2 or 3 times to their factory in near Manesar. It's actually close to my hotel, and we kind of saw the various systems in play. What impressed me most was that there was a new technology called glulam, and what Bhavna explained to us was that homes in mountains in Canada have been using this technology for hundreds of years, and not only have they just done fenestration, they've actually built homes with that structure. So this was extremely appealing, and I remember telling my architect, I said, we need to put a budget towards this, because I obviously realized that quality costs money. It was certainly not a very big decision for us to take at that point of time, but certainly a decision that I think has paid off, because it was not just a matter of the strength and the robustness of the material, but I think it was the engineering facilitation that Artius brought to us on the table. Bhavna and her consultants worked very closely with the architect to make sure that it kind of met most of our needs as a building would, to basically make sure we are thermally insulated, there's a feeling of luxury, and the end product has been absolutely brilliant. Once the building was kind of designed, the most important thing we wanted to do was to blend in and frame the views, yet bring in a sense of luxury through the Georgian bars. I have spent a lot of time in England, and I have a personal fascination with Georgian bars, and I was really surprised that not too many homes in India have Georgian bars as a feature. Yet we wanted to make sure that it didn't interrupt the views. So I think Bhavna and her team had several meetings with us, which lasted over a few months, so that we really got the system right, the sizing right. I think there were probably 7 or 8 runs at getting this whole process through, and it was time well invested, because once you do that, then the factory can take over and the end product really comes out the way you envisaged it. We also had very strong demands of the hardware. We wanted our hardware to be robust. We wanted the hardware to be able to handle wind speeds. We wanted the hardware to be able to have stoppers so that it doesn't really stand out, because there were level differences. And I think what we found in Artius was that they actually even customized some hardware for us. They imported some hardware for us. And most importantly, my personal requirement of having a low VOC home, where the volatile organic compounds would be low. You're trying to run away from the city of Delhi with its pollution, but you don't want to go and live in a home that has got glues made of spirits or glues with excessive chemicals. And I think Bhavna could convince us that the materials that she was using had very low VOCs, which would allow this building to be a more healthier building. Of course, our paints inside were low VOC, but we were very nervous about things like the door systems, the glues being used to create it. How would that be? Because you have to live with that for many years. The whole process of working with Artius was very good. I would give it a very high rating. The end product was also very good. We had no real challenges in working. Don't forget that the distance is roughly 350 kilometers from Delhi. So there is challenges of taking all that material, large glass panes. We never had a problem with them. The teams were always available. There were some little niggles, and whenever there were any niggles, they were very promptly attended to and fixed, as is expected of any site. But I must say the whole working was very positive, and I would recommend anybody and everybody who is looking to build a long-term multi-generational home to consider the glue lamp technology that Artius has brought to India. It is certainly very different from anything else that you can experience. And if I were to do a next home, I would certainly use them.